Right, it gives me great pleasure to introduce episode of 158 of the Fan Roundtable 26-27 season. And it's been a good start for Hastings. I thought I'd like to say that first up. Not that I'm not not usually I'm a miserable sod, but I've got a smile on my face. Actually, I'm not always a miserable sod, even in the bad times. Um, it gives me great joy and pleasure to have John from Canvey, Terry from the beautiful Margate, Roberto from Horsham, Mark, who's a little, mostly Sittingbourne, but a little bit of, I nearly said, how's your father? I don't know why that, a little bit of
Farmer.
Folkestone. And of course, uh, Tom DYSON-LAURIE, the subtle voice of Hastings United FC Radio. Good evening, ladies and gents.
Good evening, all.
Evening, evening
Good
all.
evening.
Right then, not that it hasn't gone to my head that we're top of the league, but I think we need to talk about Hastings first up because we don't normally do that. Get it out of the way, and then and we'll go from there. There is a few bits and bobs I want to talk about first up on Hastings because we have got the Pete Heritage Cup. It is now for the wonderful Pete Heritage who worked and has been around at Hastings United for many years, and unfortunately has dementia. And there's a special day for him this Sunday coming up. I might try and get a few thoughts from people about him. I mean, he was an absolute champion in my book, but we'll get on to that. Tom, let's talk Hastings quick. Yeah, because I know you want to talk Hastings for a change. For a change, it started, as I worried about, when we got absolutely spanked by Kingstonian 4-1. Now, you were not at that one, were you?
I was at Kingstonian, yeah.
You were.
Indeed.
You were. And was I not listening and
Oh,
shedding
it's
tears?
amazing. I think you had low battery on the day.
Well, it's either that or washing your hair. That's usually, well, that's what my wife says anyway. But we won't go there. The that was when I was in Devon still, wasn't it? That was the basically the FA Cup game that was a pre-season match, really, wasn't it? It was we didn't turn up for it. I mean, took the lead. Was that Freddie Legg, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then just after that, just I think second half, just really didn't sort of come to it at all, really. And Kingstonian with a better side and got the win. But then sort of since then, I mean, I know it's still early on.
It's the nosebleed territory for us, isn't it? I mean, it was the same team that has been spanked, that got spanked, that has then turned over three other sides. So, I mean, just before we get on to the three wins, those three magnificent wins, just thought I'd just say, this absolutely. So what's going on here? This is not the same club. But like, what would you say before we get into the nitty gritty of the other three games? What was the difference? Is it we were just not switched on? Was it Kingstonian were on it and just what do you think?
I think sort of probably Kingstonian sort of were on it initially, and because we'd sort of just seen obviously the new sort of signings coming in pre-season, and maybe sort of that was just that sort of first encounter where we'd actually seen them playing a proper competition, and hadn't really sort of just seen what they were all like aside of pre-season. But then since sort of the leagues come on, you kind of see all the players and the management staff, they've sort of quite a sort of a good camaraderie within the team.
Yeah.
They've seemed to sort of gel well as well. It's quite sort of taken quite quickly. I think more than sort of much quicker than I was expecting as well.
Than any of us were expecting. I mean, the sad thing for me is it hurts me. FA Cup game, first game of the season, and we're out. I don't think people are as bothered about the FA Cup, unfortunately, as maybe some sod like me. I would have loved a cup run, but hey ho, I will take 3 wins on the bounce. I don't know if I've already mentioned that, but yeah, we won 3 games. Just saying, guys. Croydon, just quickly. So we're playing Croydon Money Club. Who's the one that's there? KSI? Is it
Yeah, Zaha, Stormzy.
Zaha?
Yeah.
Wilfred Zaha? And who else?
Stormzy.
That's it. Stormzy, KSI, KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane. Anyway, the Money Clubs. Okay, they turned up. I think they expected us to just be a capitulation like we were last year. I mean, we rode our luck a little bit. They took the lead, and even when they took the lead, I didn't think they were all out. And a lovely couple of goals created by the wonderful Tom Chalmers, who's back in a U shirt. Absolutely defence splitting balls that their manager was absolutely whinging about after the game, which made it feel even sweeter. And we managed to ride that game out.
Yeah.
I mean, your thoughts on Croydon quickly, Tom?
Yeah, I think pretty much you pretty much said it. After they've sort of like took that lead and we scored two quality goals, I think we've sort of just there was still sort of like, had those nerves times occasionally in the game where you kind of thought they might get an equaliser or they might go on to even win the game. But I think we just all stay together and just
Yeah.
everyone on the team just really played their part and just having Ronnie in the middle of the pitch as well.
Super Ronnie,
That's
just
a
for
big
officially Super Ronnie, yeah?
I think that's kind of
Yeah.
had like a big influence, especially on the younger players as
Yeah.
well.
Worry for me though is as soon as he goes off the pitch, the levels go down. We were a little bit probably lucky to get away with a win against Croydon, but I'll take that every day of the week. Yeah, Tom?
Well, let's just hope it can continue for a few more games, yeah?
Yeah, please, please, yeah. So then we move on to Eastbourne. Now I wasn't at Eastbourne. I heard it was kind of a 50-50 game. And there was an absolute rocket from Super Ronnie Dolan. Fill me in as you were well. I'll tell you what. You were going to commentate on that game, and what happened?
Oh, I was going to commentate, and then a few things crept up just minutes before the commentary was due to start. Well, I got up onto the gantry and then being told I couldn't even do it from the gantry at all. And then in the end, I just thought, well, there wasn't really sort of a good position in the ground to actually do the commentary from.
Mm.
Might as well just do a match report because that was probably the thing I could probably have done as a backup, and then just wrote something on that on the game instead.
Yeah. So what was that? The chairman had said you could do it, but the
Yeah,
manager just said no, you ain't going up there.
yeah, it's sort of apparently, well, it had been organised before I could do it from a certain place in the ground, and then apparently part of the Eastbourne coaching staff weren't made aware of the
So
circumstances.
they were rattled early. That's what it
Yeah,
is. I like that. Well done. Loving it, mate. Loving it. And also talk about the state of Eastbourne's pitch. I mean, we've said it many times about Hastings' pitch, but what the bloody hell was that?
well, like it played up to sort of our game, thankfully.
Yeah, yeah, and so then we move on to the wonderful Ashford game that we both attended. Ashford, in my eyes, Ashford thought we were going to just turn up. Before the game, I'm thinking Ashford are getting the result because I like Craig Stone. I think he's doing a good job there. I think he's got the right sort of people there, and I think they're going to do well, no matter that they lost to us. Right? They'll finish second in the league behind us, but I'm joking. Even though I'm not that bad. I'm not Mark from Whitehawk. Come on, right? But they absolutely didn't like it Upham, did they? They didn't like it Upham.
No.
I thought we were excellent in periods of that game. And first of all, Ashford very disappointed in their fans. They're quiet. You think like Ashford
Mm.
Hastings normally is quite a if the skill isn't on the pitch, it's quite a noisy little game. It's a good sort of natured banter between the fans. It wasn't really. They were very flat. Ashford, I felt throughout the game.
Yeah, I thought we had a good sort of, especially with well, our number of support that we brought to Ashford on the day as well. Sort of phenomenal, constantly getting behind the boys.
Yeah, I just yeah, it was just a very odd performance from Ashford. But I'll have that every day. We were excellent. Again, when we made the subs, the benches, in my opinion, the bench is quite weak, and the levels went down. That then allowed Ashford to, because they're already down to 10 men for a straight red elbow. As I say, Ashford were rattled, but that usually would have been us for the last few years. So I'll take that every day of the week. And yeah, so a funny chant. They scored a consolation goal. They then got a penalty that Harry Haynes saved. But before he saved it, so they're all we singing, "We can see you sneaking out." Penalties given, and then we're like, "We can see you sneaking in," because they all then started coming back through the gate. Then they missed it. And then we're like, we can see you sneaking out again. And it was quite funny, but wonderful victory. Super Kesner Clark, Villa Benteke, not Liverpool Benteke at the minute, so we'll have that. Who else got the goals, Tom, for in the Ashford? I can't remember now. Well,
Callum
Freddie.
Erskine.
Oh,
Yeah,
Ollie Black got one, didn't he?
yeah. Asking the new player as well.
Oh, Erskine, the winger, good
Yeah,
lad. He's
yeah,
got a
he's
big
done
old
well.
head on him. Super stuff. Yeah. I was very happy. We were very happy, weren't we, Tom? Super Malk. I saw Super Malk, by the way, guys. If you remember Malk, who used to come on the podcast, who's at Ashford. He was wearing his big cowboy hat, and I was going over it, and Brokeback Mountain chants were rained at me and Super Malk. But yeah, maybe we'll leave it there. But yeah, so wonderful stuff. Leading in, first of all, I know we've got a few games coming up, but I just want to mention again the Peter Heritage Cup game that is at the Pilot Field on Sunday. Is that a 2 or 3 o'clock kickoff, Tom?
think that's at 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock kickoff, Tom. Now, anyone that knows Pete Heritage, as who's an Hastings fan, you know you need to get yourself down there. There's lots of ex-players. Obviously, Aggie, people like that are down as well. They're going to be back in the Hastings or Sidley team. A lot of the Hastings and Southeast football community are going to be there. Please come along. I have heard that Pete might be coming himself. That was a rumor that I heard. That I'm not sure that's going to happen, but very dear to my heart. Has been on this podcast many times back in the day. An absolute champion, Genesis fan as well. Big old Peter Gabriel fan as well, like me. So if you look back in the annals of this wonderful podcast, you'll see top 5 Peter Gabriel songs. Obviously, a classic that thousands upon thousands of people listen to, and other such classics. But yeah, so that's for the Sunday. We've got Saturday. We got Endon in the trophy.
In the trophy, yep.
Okay.
And then got Crowborough in the league.
And then Crowborough in the league. Now, that's going to be a toughie. Crowborough's going to be a toughie. Hendon, I'm not sure. I'm not sure we're too bothered about the cups, which is sad. So I don't know what. I mean, he's going to probably put a few of the bench out, and he.
Yeah, probably. But let's just end this month. 2 wins would be nice.
Well, at least, isn't it? I mean, we've got to carry on, haven't we? Absolute shame, absolute debacle that 3 wins on the bounce. You know, when was the last time I said that? I don't know. So, particularly as we're going to go straight to Mark. We're going to go straight to Mark, Sittingbourne Mark, who made that golden prediction that Hastings were getting relegated this season. Like an angel in my life, you said that, and we have been magnificent since then. It may not last. It more than likely won't. But Mark, talk to me about your Sittingbourne. I did have a look. You're doing all right. Second behind a certain side, but I don't want to mention who they are. But behind the Hastings. But do you think it's going to stay that way all season, mate?
I don't know. We've started off really well. I don't know if anyone has noticed when we've scored our goals. Has anyone noticed? 90 plus 7 plus 90 plus 8, 90 plus 9, and 90 plus 9.
Fergie
3 winners.
time.
Yeah, in Fergie time. Which it says something really good actually. That we keep going to the final whistle. We had a really tough start, to be fair. Croydon away, I didn't go. I refused to go. I hate the place. And we won with the last kick of the game, virtually.
They moaned about that. They've moaned about that, mate. Because he was moaning about that after the game, our game. He was doing his little chat, the manager. And he's, it's like that last game. And we were robbed. It's like, yeah, good.
They weren't. I went to the Cray Valley home game. We were second best for most of it, to be fair. We just didn't turn up that day, but we managed to get a sneaker point at the end. The final 20 minutes, they put 10 men behind the ball, which is always a dangerous thing to do. And we just relentlessly attacked and finally got one at the end. Again, at Whitstable, 90 plus 8 last kick of the game, especially with their ex-players scored against them, scored both of them actually. Harvey Smith, who scored the winner at the Wembley and the Vars. Unfortunately, now we've got the cups. So I've got a bit of a moan about that actually. I think a bit like you, Terry, we've got Friday night. I mean,
yeah,
Aylesbury United at Beaconsfield on a Friday night. Oh, come on.
We've got Ascot.
Oh, it's just, I mean...
We've got to leave at 2:30 to get down there, It's like,
yeah,
what?
I know. I'm not going to go. I mean, I'm just back off 9 days holiday, gallivanting around, and
I've got to drive the kit down.
Yeah, so I don't really fancy it. It's the cost as well. I mean, going by train, you get home about midnight. You'll spend 60 quid.
If you get back, mate. If you get back, Mark.
Yeah, you can.
The trains, you've got to be careful.
Yeah, got to be careful, mate.
Yeah, with them blooming tray. Well, especially being an old man now. I've just recently turned a certain age, so I can get a certain rail card now. I've got a certain rail card bought for 3 years, so that saves a bit of money. But I've had 9 days away, and I've done a bit of ground hopping while we've been away, and I've been to the delights of Bradford Town, Axminster, Weymouth. Weymouth hasn't changed. I don't know if Hastings played there a few years ago or whatever. That still looks the same. The toilets from the 1850s.
Oh, good.
We went to a game last night on the way home. We got home about 1 o'clock in the morning, so we went to I can't remember the blooming name of the place. Something and Ford against Sturminster Newton. It was on the way back near Salisbury, so we went there last night. What were they called? Something and Ford. I've forgotten the blooming name of it. It just shows you how much I take a notice. But yeah, we've had a good start.
Was the
You
beer
know,
good in there?
the only thing I'm disappointed is now we got through the cup. We've got Greenwich Borough in the cup, the next round. If we win against Aylesbury United, it's going to be the same as our promotion seat as well, where we've just failed against Ramsgate. We could be playing the FA Cup trophy constantly for the next 3 or 4 weeks. We're going to get miles behind on the league games like we did the season where we've just failed. You know, where I did smile when you got beat 4-1. I don't think that's a bad thing, you know. I know we all love the FA Cup, I should hope. You know, if you brought up watching it at 10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. But league is the bread and butter. At the end of the day, you know, that's what cost us promotion, I think. You know, all them games, and we played, I think I said like 13 or 14 games more than Burgess Hill when we played that playoff final, and it just does get to you in the end, you know. So we've got Friday night, next Saturday, the Herne Bay game, which I was going to go to, has obviously been called off. So we're home to Greenwich Borough. We win against Aylesbury. The next round will be on the following Saturday. And if we happen to beat Greenwich Borough, the FA Cup's the following Saturday after that. And if you win the trophy game of the next one, that's after that as well. So there'll be no league games through September. So it's quite, you know, what do you do? Obviously, the money's handy for the club, and you know, but the money which you win, if you see what some teams are spending this year, like Faversham,
Yes.
I don't know if you've heard how much their weekly budget is. I won't say obviously on this, but I would imagine it's the same as some National South teams. It's quite large. We're not talking 6,000-7,000 either a week. We're talking lots more than that. I mean, so how do you compete with them kind of teams? But you do. You're flying high. You've got Crover and Hawley coming up, so I can see you winning 5 in a row. And then we're all going to be playing catch up.
Oh, he said it now. Oh,
yeah,
no,
I've got to. I can't.
Oh,
I can't let you run. I cannot let you run away. I cannot let you run away with it.
It's over.
But do you know what?
That brief blip is. No, go on. Sorry, go on, Mark. Go on.
It's been a good start. You know, I've been obviously keeping an eye on all the guys' teams, and it's been a very good start. Folkestone, Horsham. Sorry, Whitehawk. But apart from that, I think everyone's unbeaten virtually. Margate, you're doing well, Terry.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, we've all had a really good start to the season. So, you know, long may it continue.
Yes.
I'm hopeful. You know, I'm trying and get to as many games as I can. The last couple of years, I've been to like 98, 95 games in the season. Obviously, Sittingbourne and ground hopping as well, which I love. Especially being away, you know, going to these far-flung places. But I work probably like a lot of people here now. I've got a shift work, whereas I always work Monday to Friday. So it's going to be difficult. I'll give you an example. I'm back to work next Wednesday. I haven't even got a clue what shift I'm working, so which is not really helpful. So, you know, I used to plan all my games well in advance. It was easy to get to. Now I'm not quite so. So I'm probably going to be a bit like everyone else. I'll get to them when I can. You know, Saturday I'll have to go to Kennington. You know, I don't want to do any more travelling, so and see what happens on Bank Holiday Monday. But you know, I'm pleased with our start. You know, they seem to be gelling pretty well. From what I've been told, the game I saw, they didn't look as though they were going to concede too many. You know, so I'm a bit like yourself, and probably like Terry's going to tell you, I'm quite hopeful for the season. You know, I'm a bit worried about this cup run, as I say. You know, it could come back to haunt us, but we'll see.
Well, it's sad when you say I'm a bit worried about this cup run. You know, you could just do the charitable thing and just get absolutely spanked 4-1. Like
well,
we did,
yeah, we could have Kingstonian in the next round. That might be quite handy and get spanked 4-1 by them. So I'll be quite happy to let one go. Probably the trophy, you know, because, you know, we got through to the last 8. I mean, that was a lot of games. And we also did well in the FA Cup as well, you know, playing all them extra games week in, week out. And, you know, then we had loads of games to catch up on a Tuesday night. I'm sure it gets to them after a while, you know. One thing I wanted to touch on, the difference in pitches where I've seen, been going around. We went to Bradford Town. It was like playing on a dust bowl. I went last night to the game. It was played completely on green grass. Amazing, out in the middle of just outside Salisbury. I don't know how they managed it, but it's either or this season. Obviously, the pitches are bumpy and horrible. I've noticed there've been a couple that have been, you know, at a very lower level, been called off, abandoned because of the weather wasn't. The pitch wasn't up to it, or there was a couple of serious injuries in you know, it's like a step 7 and whatever.
Well, was it Ramsgate's game where the linesman had his hand down a bloody great hole up to his bleeding shoulder?
Yeah,
just way rovers, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember
yeah.
seeing that.
There's been a couple of that, and last thing I'd like to say, Chris, is you know, I didn't know about Peter Heritage. When I was a wee nipper following Gillingham, he was. I remember him. I think he was a bricklayer or something. He come to Gillingham, and that's where one of his early starts. And we nicknamed him Hager the Horrible. I don't know if that name stuck or whatever, but I always remember him. I take it is the same chap, isn't it? Played for Gillingham.
Pete Heritage. Yeah, he was at Hereford.
That's it.
Yeah, so I can't remember his leagues. But he's been around, and he's just a magnificent human being, and he would end everything with the fact that you needed to know that West Ham are massive. That's yeah. A massive West Ham fan.
Was he?
Beautiful.
There's always going to be one, isn't there? But yeah, I remember him. He was a tryer, and he was you know, everyone used to sing his name because he used to try. He wasn't the best. Obviously, he'd just come out of. I think was he a bricklayer or something? Some tradesman.
Yeah, he was tradesman. Yeah, he was. I can't remember what he was doing towards the back end, but yeah, no, I've done. Go on, mate.
When he started, I remember him saying he took a chance because he was earning more money as a tradesman than playing for Gillingham. So, you know, so obviously the fans took to him for that. And I always remember he was very well popular. You know, we weren't very good at the time, and we're still not. Gillingham was still not very good, but you know, people used to like a trier, so you know, he was well popular. So it's very sad to hear that. What you said
no, really, it's really to walloped him.
Yeah, I can imagine, mate. I can imagine. I've known a few people that have got this horrible, terrible disease, and it's not pleasant. Yeah, but I shall sign off. Good luck to everyone for the week, and I'll go on to the next person.
Okay, all right. Well, let's talk about second places. Second place at the moment in the National League South, Horsham. Roberto, talk to me about your lovely start.
It's pretty crap, isn't it? Really? No, it's. I was trying to think if we haven't done one, have we, since the season started? So, no, I think where did we start? We started down in Torquay. That was a good fun weekend away. Yeah, and to be fair, the game was, you know, it's got tough starts. If you're going to play Torquay, it's probably the time to play it because you don't know what. You don't even, when they get 10, 15 games going and they get like a steam train. So, but we turned up, a draw before the game was what we, hoped for. And to be fair, they went 1-0 up and we were doing all right. A scrappy game. It was more of a pre-season, the first 25, 30 minutes. It was, people trying to find their feet. And then second half, we played some really good stuff, really good football. Could have nicked it, but that would be a bit greedy. But yeah, we got the draw and sort of started this little 4 unbeaten run on. Went at home to Salisbury, and that was again we could have won that game. We had enough chances. They had a couple at the end, but to get a point, and then the first victory comes up against Hampton or Richmond, who are in poor form. I know they won at the weekend. They were 3-2 down in their 91st minute and won it 5-2, I think, or 5-3. Talk about late goals, yeah, so we got the first win there, and that was vital. And then we went to Braintree, just got relegated. That are struggling financially, and you can tell that the ground is. I don't know what I was expecting. We haven't been there before, and I wasn't. You relegated team from the National League. You think, okay, this is going to be all right. And I turned up, and it was poor. It was really poor, and the pitch was poor, and it was for both teams. I know they're under a transfer embargo, Yeah, we turned up, and it was the first time I probably watched us in the first, 12, 13 months we've been in the National League South, that we now look like an experienced team. We turned up, we were like, no, hang on a minute, we can do a job here, and went 2-0 up easily. And then 5 minutes to go, they nicked one in the back post, and I turned around to someone on the sidelines, actually, and I missed this. I missed being 2-1 up with 5 minutes to go, and they have corners, and they're lobbing the ball in, and walked away with 3 points, and then it's been a great start. Look, I think I said beforehand in the preview show that if we keep all our players fit and ready, then we'll finish mid-table. And I imagine that's probably bottom half, lower half of the table would probably finish up at, but you never know. We got Farnham on Saturday, then our game on Monday. Bank holiday's been called off because Ebbs Fleet are in a shit show at the moment. Financially, I don't know what's going on there. I think a decision has to be made one way or the other. So I think that's going to be 6 games they've had to call off. So look, hopefully we can do the number on Saturday and get the 3 points, then move on to the next few games. But yeah, no, it's really enjoyable. It's National League South. It's a tough old team. You know, I keep saying it's a big boys league, and we're holding our own. And you know, it just seems that we keep doing it. The lads just keep going and going. It doesn't matter what league we're in or who we're up against. We'll give everyone a game. And I was saying to someone the other day, we haven't been beaten in this league convincingly. Like we've never been. I think Tottenham 3-0 away back end of last season was the one where we sort of struggled a bit. But yeah, we've done really well. So unbeatable, sitting second behind Dagenham, who are the one with a KSI or PSI, whatever you want to say. You know, it's good footballing blokes. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. We've got Ryan Bartley. There was a centre half who turned up at Torquay, and we were like, "Who the bloody hell was this?" He's been a trialist, and he's come from Maidenhead. He's like a Rolls Royce of a centre half. He's quick. He reads the game. He's powerful. He's been superb. And we lost Philpott, and you wouldn't. I think we were conceded 2 goals now. So he's a decent quality player. So we're doing well. That's why I keep saying that really, but we know it's good to watch, and it's a great league to be part of. So I was just listening to all these cup runs, and I'm always like, I love them. I love going to places that you don't normally go to. So I think the league, we had a squad of, when we won the league in the Isthmian Prem, we had a squad of 15, 16 players that signed on from the turned up the first pre-season, and we played 68 games. Because we had the cup runs, and we had obviously the league games. We were playing, I think, the second half of the season, we were playing Saturday, Tuesday. And I think sometimes, I've said before to people, I think sometimes I thought it was better to play Saturday to Saturday, but we as a Horsham, our team played better Saturday, Tuesday. They just had that rhythm. So I'm all for one for cup games. Go as far as you can, get the coffer, get good way. We've been to Larkhall, Westfield. We've done the Barnsley and the Suttons and stuff, but I quite like the early rounds, the proper early going to hopefully someone that you've never been to. So hopefully that's again this year. And and I know the FA Trophy's changed sponsorship, so I don't know, no one's picked that up at the moment. It's not easier anymore, is it? So
No.
hopefully we'll have a good run at that, and see what happens. But it's all singing again. One day I'll come on here and it won't be we'll be dropping down the leagues, but it's been great. It's it's been good fun.
Robert, you say dropping down the league. That it looks less and less like you will have any trouble this year. If you've got Ebbsfleet in trouble, the chances of going down are less.
Yeah, I think Braintree. You look at Braintree, Ebbsfleet. I think Wharton and Horsham. I think they've tried to. And there's a lot of teams in the National League South especially coming up, try and chuck a crap load of money at it, and bring Farnham, for example. We're playing them on Saturday. They are. You talk about budgets. Their budget must be astronomical. They were signing Jack Spong from Worthing, for example, towards the start of the season. He's not on a small wage, and so it doesn't mean it's going to be success. If anything, the other complete opposite.
Yeah.
I
mean, do you think there's more? I mean, do you think there's more clubs that are going to slip into that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's loads. I think there's loads paying above their means. Not just in our league, but you look at the Isthmian Prem, for example. So many the wages of players are on and the budgets, but it's just unsustainable. Yeah. It's so many teams are just paying above their means. And I think if you look at it, Dorking, for example, I think Mark White's turned around and got, I've put enough money in, and that's why he got the investors in from the States. And I know he knows what he's doing with the social media kind of things and a bunch of amateurs, but you need your revenue streams now for football clubs. You go to these football teams in like Braintree, got relegated. I know that, and they turn at 500 people walk through the gate, and 120 of them were Horsham fans. You're like, how are you sustainable to make a football? Do you know what I mean? It's just like there's loads of clubs like that. Ebbsfleet have been found out. I think there's some lying going on there by the new owners already, and I think there's some. Dagenham will do that if KSI pulls out or whatever. They'll be in the. They'll go down the other way. So, it is hard to compete when the teams are chucking money. I think Horsham are run, and I think you hear that from anyone really. Horsham are run like a proper football club. We don't, a lot of people, I've heard a few people saying we're still living off our FA Cup finances. I can assure you we're not. It's everything is organic, and it's whatever comes through the gates we're putting back in. And
you're living off that Sussex Cup win, aren't you?
Only in the head, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Which one? Yeah,
the one.
The one. I still go back to it. The one that started all this. It's been thoroughly enjoyable, and we just go out for good times and good away days and enjoy it all. Really, don't take ourselves too seriously, and I think that's all to do with it. It's it's before you know it, you can go down and play these teams that through the lower leagues and things. And we remember where we were homeless and stuff. So yeah, it's without playing a sob story and a violin in the background, it's enjoyable, it's good fun, and long may it continue. Like you say, and that's the most impressive thing. I think you said you touched on it there. We don't look like we're in trouble. And any of these games we play, and we're not really out of them. We've got a strong squad at the moment. So hopefully we can win on Saturday and progress and see where the season takes us. Really, I'd like a good cup run. I think the club would like a cup run. We'll see what happens.
Cheers, thank you for that, Rob. Right, I'll tell you what, we're gonna go John. We're gonna go John from Canvey. Sort of start from yourselves in life in the Isthmian North.
Indeed,
Talk to me, John.
Yeah, so I mean, not a bad start to be fair. Obviously, as you sort of mentioned with yourselves, Hastings really, from the sort of first game, we weren't too sure what to expect and kind of got found out. It was a sort of classic case of almost what I had dreaded coming into the Isthmian North, where there are two types of football teams. There are the teams that can play football, and then there are teams that can play hoofball. And we have always traditionally struggled against hoofball teams. Galston were one such example of that team. But, I mean, to be fair to them, they come down with a strategy and executed it pretty perfectly against us. We started the game against them quite well. We seem to be moving the ball around really well, creating a couple of chances, and then literally just one long ball forward created absolute chaos at the back. If you see the defending back, it looked like we were still in pre-season. It was a bit comical, to be honest. So just allowed them to run through and put themselves ahead. Just again a bit more sort of strength, a bit more relief from them, really, just warranting them seconds. So we were playing catch up through most of the rest of the game, really, and whilst we were sort of huffing and puffing and trying to throw things forward, managed to get a scrappy goal back. It wasn't really enough to merit anything from the game. So it was a bit of a wake-up call, I think, for a few people who perhaps had forgotten what it was like in this league the last time we were there. And some of whilst we had some very good games, we suffered some really rubbish results as well. So that was kind of a reminder that league isn't to be taken for granted. But to be fair, we learned our lessons pretty quickly. Whilst sometimes you can see teams sort of flounder and try and struggle to compose themselves going up against a new challenge, we went to probably one of the other sort of teams who I quite fancied in this league the next week, Cambridge City. Impressive setup there, I must admit. They just opened up a new stand there or something. Quite a setup there. Probably wouldn't be out of place in the National South, to be honest. But they obviously were expected to do a lot this season, so we knew it was going to be a challenging game, but we started the game really well. Got a bit of a stroke of luck with a bit of fortunate own goal off of them. Sort of early in the game, but whereas obviously we've been a bit shaky defensively the previous week, we looked really good defensively this game. They decided obviously throw a lot forward as we expected them to do so, but at the back, we were just mopping everything up really. Good goalkeeping performance as well from David Hughes. Made some really big saves, to keep us in the game, and just everything that we were doing was kind of built off of having a sort of solid defence. So, which obviously kept their chances down. We obviously any chances they had, they were either missing them or we were just dealing them well. And it allowed us to stay in the game long enough to get that killer second, sort of much later into the game. And from there on in, it was obviously a lot of huff and puff from them to try and get them back into it. Obviously, they, I think, managed to get a goal back in the sort of their 94th minute, but by that point, we'd near enough wrapped the game up. So, a really good win on the road. Sadly, I don't know what happened to me personally. That game, I come down with some kind of, I don't know, crap illness or something. So sadly, I had to miss them.
I know. Too many beers.
Not beer.
Oh.
No,
Sorry to hear that.
It weren't even a fun kind of falling out of the next game. But yeah, I was pretty much in Southend A&E by the time the next game come around. So, but better now, because I'm still kicking. But yeah, sort of heard about what happened with the game home against Brighton and see that sounded almost like a little bit of a mix of both, the opening. So whilst we would sound like we were sort of huffing and puffing a bit first half, and they managed to get themselves ahead. Second half, we seemed like the better team, got an equaliser, and pushed on from there, just unable to get that winner, really. But, that doesn't put us on a sort of bad start, really, in the league. Obviously, 4 points from 9. Obviously, coming pretty much where we were the last time we dropped into this league, to be honest. And the team does seem like it's clicking. Obviously, we had a cup game as well at the weekend, which I was also silly enough to miss because I opted to go West Ham Charlton instead, and what a waste of time that was. But yeah, but we done well in the cup. Obviously, beat a side league below us in Kings Langley. Good hat trick from Mitchell May. Good to see him up and running. He's looked quite lively in the first few games, but maybe he's not had the opportunities for his way that he might have liked. So good to see him get that hat trick, and hopefully he'll kick on from there. Really, but yeah, it's all good. You can see how the team is starting to blend together now. It seems like we've got a good mix in there with some standout players already. Really, obviously the likes of Mitchell May up front looks really good. Ernest Occo, we had him just before everything went to pot with COVID. He was a bit of a younger man then, sort of seemed to have come back a more rounded and skillful player. Obviously Jack Corley at the back seems like a really good acquisition as well, just like a good leader. Louis Harris-Smith coming back, a very good wing back as well. Has caused all sorts of problems for Cambridge when we played them. A lot of their fans were raving about him as well. So hopefully we can, obviously start kicking on really from there. We've made a couple more acquisitions. I think we've got a boy called Sid Walker in on loan from Brentwood. Another boy called Michael Barrett, good attacking player at this level, got him from Bowers. So yeah, again, as touched on though, obviously we come into a bit of a congested September really with the cup competitions. I mean, our next game is obviously a trophy game like most people's. We've got Grays at home, so that's a sort of first of a few derbies for us in this league. So obviously, me will just have to beat Grays 3 times this season instead of the usual twice. And then obviously Bowers away on the bank holiday Monday, who have been a bit indifferent in their start. So we'd like to sort of hope we can go there and take points. But yeah, then obviously, as you say, we've got a couple of quick games in succession. We've got Newmarket twice now at home in the space of 2 weeks. We drew them in the cup. So cup game and then league game against them. And yeah, obviously, if we can get through, then obviously it builds up that fixture congestion as touched upon, really. But I certainly wouldn't mind a cup run. It's been a few years since we've had one now, or at least one of a real note. I think the last time we had a really good one was when we actually got the second round proper. But obviously none of us could really see that because of all the COVID restrictions. So, a good little cup run. It'd be good for the coffers, could be good for the confidence as well. As things go at the moment, really, it's not been too bad a start. It's just sort of kicking on from there, really, and hoping, the team keeps sort of finding a way to get these results.
Cheers for that, John. Right then, Terry, you're third in the league, aren't you?
Yeah.
Who
Goal difference is keeping me and Sittingbourne apart.
Behind Sittingbourne and Hastings. I don't know if I mentioned that
Mad,
before.
Isn't it?
There you go. It's not going to stay this way. You know it ain't.
No,
so
we
that's
know.
why I'm making a lot of it. So good start under this new regime.
It's
Fill us in.
it was a little bit scrappy to start with. I mean, pre-season was a little bit disjointed, and we didn't start with the same players. Even up to the first game of the season, I don't think we had. We were still getting one in, one out kind of thing. We had first game at Cray Valley. We got Harry Seedon though. That's getting Harry Seedon in as keeper has just been absolutely brilliant. He's an absolute solid monster at the back. He's brilliant. So Cray Valley, they had a beautiful pitch, lovely and green. So, that was a good game. We only managed to draw. We only had 10 men on the pitch at the end.
How many was there? How many was there, Terry?
Hold on, let me have a look. Attendance was 365.
Blimey.
Okay. That's not that.
There was a good bunch of us as well.
Yeah,
so.
I was going to say because they're about 270, isn't they?
Yeah, no, there was a good 100 or so of us. So yeah, but I'll say finished with 10 men. Same again for the Crowborough game. We won that one though, so that was at home.
What were Crowborough like?
Physical. Yeah, I think that's about the politest thing we could say about Crowborough. Quite a physical team. Say another game we ended up with 10 men on the pitch. So yeah, I think Finn got our first goal for that one. Finn O'Mara, absolute beast he is. I absolutely love him. Oh, yeah, we started calling him Pepperami. He's a bit of an animal.
Yeah, he's had to delete his Twitter a few times, but we'll talk about that off camera.
Nah, I've sponsored him for the season. I didn't know anything about it. I just picked him out because of his name and.
I know he's a really good kid. Well,
he's an absolute beast. Love him. So he scored against Crowborough. Then we had Sheppey the other night. We managed to get that as a 1-0. And then we went to Peacehaven in the cup. So managed to keep all of our players on the pitch for the last 2 games. It's an improvement, you got to go with that. 1-4-1 at Peacehaven.
Nice.
It's always when you get like same league. I prefer doing a higher or lower. It's not right playing a team in the same league. It don't work for me. I'd rather play somebody that's not in our league.
Yeah.
But say we went down there and did them 4-1, so that was good. And there was goals from 4 different people. Not just our strikers. So I like the way that's working out. The Peacehaven game was the best game we've had so far. They sort of like the momentum keeps going, and they're sort of gelling as a team. Like people have said, it's getting them going and playing as a team now. It's looking good. I'm quietly optimistic now.
Aren't we all?
Yeah,
for now,
enjoying the nosebleeds.
For now.
Nosebleed position, that'll do me. It's only goal difference with Sittingbourne though, so
Yeah. What I was going to say, what do you think of some of these sides? Obviously Peacehaven and that. Do you think they're going to cut the mustard in our league, or?
Well, they're going to give it a go, I reckon. They didn't sort of. They looked like they deserved to be in the league, so it wasn't sort of like we absolutely turned them over. It was just we were lucky with our goals going in, and having Harry Seaton in between the sticks at our end. So I think he's going to be a key player for us this season. Really is. He's
you keep saying that. I keep thinking Harry Seacombe. I can't get that out of my head. I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah, no, he's a bloody good lad. He's from Southend though, so he has to travel to all the games. So even coming to Margate for home games, he's got to travel from Southend. We're talking about getting him a boat across, getting the owners to get him a speedboat, get him rowing across the estuary.
So I'll tell you, you got Saturday.
We got Ascot on Friday.
Oh, Ascot. Oh, that was easy.
So we got Ascot Friday and then Whitstable on Monday. That's going to be a spicy game and all.
Oh, yeah. Whitstable lost most of their team, haven't they? I know half of them have gone to you.
Yeah, they're now playing in blue.
What? So where you got Ascot away?
Yeah.
Anyone ever been to Ascot? I've never been that ground.
Yeah, we went. We had them exactly the same stage last season.
What's that like? What's the ground like?
It's all right. You can put your hand through the fence and you'll be on the race course. So yeah, it's we had some iffy decisions there last time. So I'll be interested to see what the referee has to do about defenders handling the ball out of the net and letting that go from last season. I was not a happy bunny.
Sorry, at step 4 level, those refs are incorruptible.
Oh, honestly, it was dire, mate. I was not a happy bunny.
Yeah. All right, gang. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, all right. Well, listen, gang, absolute pleasure as always. Try and do this in the next couple of weeks. Sorry, it's been a bit delayed, but my rota is just, I was on nights last week. I couldn't do it. But John, I wish you the best of luck as well. Terry, Rob, Mark, and the voice of Hastings Radio, Tom. See you at the game. Enjoy your weekends. I hope they're very successful ones. Take care.
Good one all.
All the best.
See you later.
Take care, mate.